Dragon Ball Z. Widely regarded as the greatest anime ever. Today, we're going to be taking a look at 5 of the most disappointing characters in Dragon Ball Z. I'm talking about characters when you saw them, you thought, oh shit, this guy means business. This guy's going to actually do something. And in the end, these people flopped. They were a complete disappointment. Number 5. Dabura. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when Dabura first showed up, I thought this guy was the shit. And to his credit, his first 5 minutes on screen were legendary. I was sold. This guy put himself over. You had the Supreme Kai shitting himself, telling you that this guy was the king of demons. And everyone was like, whoa. And within seconds, Dabura was on their ass. Took out Kibito in seconds, effortlessly. Spat on Krillin, spat on Piccolo, went toe-to-toe with Vegeta and Goku for a bit, and then ducked. And that right there is a huge feat. How many people have you seen do that? So for that alone, expectations were very high for Dabura. He then went on to have an impressive showing against Gohan, but after that, things just went downhill. It became clear that Dabura was just a sideshow, a flunky of Baba D and a sideshow to Majin Buu. Majin Buu appears, Dabura puts up an impressive performance but is turned to chocolate and eaten. And that was the end of the king of the freaking demons. Done. Finished. And it was a huge letdown because I expected a lot more from him. He deserved a lot more time on screen. He had a good look, a menacing voice. He could have been a great villain and they not cut him short. And to make matters worse, to put the nail in the coffin, they had this guy in the other world turn into a complete goofball. That's the king of demons. Wow, huge letdown. Number 4. Now everyone knew this guy would be here. Team Gohan from the Buu saga. Now this is all because in the Cell games, Gohan outshone everyone, including Goku, Vegeta, everyone. Gohan was the shit. So to see him get older and weaker, people were like, what? That doesn't even make sense. And most people thought that superhero shit was just straight up corny. Add to the fact he wasn't training anymore. Then you consider his performance against Majin Buu, which was absolutely pitiful. This guy got demolished. At this point, Buu was way out of his league because he was not training. But anyways, the Supreme Kai takes him to their world. Train him up with the Z sword. The Elder Kai unlocks Gohan's mystic power. Now the Gohan fanboys were rejoicing, thinking now this guy is gonna do some shit and get back to how he was. Goes to fight Buu. Lasted 1 episode kicking Buu's ass, then the next episode, bam, absorbed, done. So in reality, it was a huge letdown. Mystic Gohan was powerful but didn't even get a chance to do anything to make his power have an impact. Yeah, he kicked the crap out of Buu, but for how long? Buu winded up absorbing him, making himself stronger. So it was a huge letdown. Number 3. Kibito. Now once again, from first impressions, we thought these guys were the shit. They were badass. And Kibito, he looked evil as shit. He doesn't look like a good guy. He looked like he was a badass. Turns out this guy was nowhere near as strong as we thought. And literally did nothing. I don't think this guy threw a punch or shot a single ki blast or done anything apart from heal and teleport. This guy was essentially a cab driver and a nurse. Number 2. Why don't you have a guess? The Supreme Kai. Holy crap. Now this guy, when he showed up, everyone, and I mean everyone, thought this guy was legit powerful. Like he could wipe out everyone instantly. Turns out this guy was nowhere near as powerful, and a huge letdown. One of the most disappointing characters ever Once again, when they showed up, they had this sinister look. We were buying into it. Piccolo was there completely shitting himself, trying to put this guy over as a top badass. When it came down to it, the Supreme Kai was awful. Dude was shitting himself for people like Pui Pui. The problem here is because they hyped him as a god. And to see a god worried about someone like Pui Pui and all these others was shocking, and it was a huge letdown. I think they should have really had him fight one of Babadee's little henchmen just to showcase his abilities. Because when he fought Majin Buu, he put up a decent effort, but he got completely demolished. One of the worst beatdowns in Dragon Ball Z history. It was painful. So now, instead of being the main guy on the front lines fighting Majin Buu, because this was his duty, this was his job to stop Majin Buu, this guy winded up in the background cheerleading and healing and helping others when he should be the one on the front line taking out his rival. Buu had killed all the Supreme Kai's friends, all of the other Kais. This was his revenge. He should have been there fighting Majin Buu. Instead, watching from the sidelines. Put it this way, the Supreme Kai wasn't weak. He was just nowhere near as powerful as we thought he would be, and had nowhere near the impact as we thought he would have. That's why he is at number 2. Number 1, you guessed it, Frieza's father, King Cold. Now, just saying Frieza's father, you expect a top-level villain. A badass. This guy turned out to be one of the biggest jobbers in Dragon Ball Z history. Cole and Frieza show up all badass, all cocky and shit, running their mouths. Trunks shows up, cuts Frieza into pieces in front of his daddy, and his daddy does nothing. In fact, after seeing his son get cut in half, this guy had a smirk on his face. So I'm thinking, oh shit, this guy must know something we all don't. Tries to fight him and gets completely destroyed. Pitiful performance. Didn't even get a chance to transform, if he can even transform, and jobbed out like a complete bitch. It was awful. To make matters worse, the next time we see this guy, he's used again as a punching bag for Pikkon. And acts like a complete goofball when he gets hit. Horrendous showing by Frieza and his father. Awful. King Cole. Requirements. Put Trunks and Pikkon over. End. That was this man's role. And to create a character just for that, that was pathetic. And this is the worst and most disappointing character in Dragon Ball Z. And you know, some people say Yamcha, Chaozu. Nah, Yamcha and Chaozu's time was up from Dragon Ball. I expected nothing from them. When I saw Yamcha get taken up by a Cyberman, definitely didn't think anything of this guy. Didn't think he was gonna do anything after that. In fact, I was surprised by some of these guys, like Tien. I was surprised that Tien was able to hold off Cell. I was surprised that Krillin was able to damage Cell in his first form. Why? Because these guys were nothing to begin with in the first place. It's when people are supposed to be powerful and then they don't deliver, then you get the disappointment. So there you have it. And if you've got 5 worse than these 5, please enlighten me. And good luck trying to find them.